Hello and welcome to this week's vlog from Maddisons. Well, news this week, we've been expecting it for a while, but the joyous world of septic tanks. We call it private drainage, actually. It's a bit of a posh term in the industry for when you're not on mains foul drainage. And generally, you'll dispose of your waste then via two main means, a septic tank or a cesspit. Well, septic tanks, the Environment Agency has had its eye on them for quite a while. They're not felt to be very nice for our environment. Often, all sorts of stuff drains away into the soil. I won't go into detail. So new laws have come into effect. They've been threatening for a while. And basically, if you're going to sell your property, you have to replace your septic tank by the 1st of January or when you sell your property, whichever is the sooner. So even if you're not selling, that deadline will be looming for you as well. So yeah, a change there to the world of private drainage. Well, the Bank of Mum and Dad, another interesting story out this week, is now the 11th largest lender. It's estimated that they help 1 in 5 of their children get onto the housing ladder. They'll help out around 250,000 transactions. And they've been described as the iceberg lender. They're invisible but utterly crucial. And the housing market for those first-time buyers could really grind to a halt were it not for mum and dad and grandparents and aunts and uncles and godparents and all else as well, helping out with young getting on the property ladder for what is a very expensive asset to purchase now. And the final story I wanted to touch on this week was the fact of accidental landlords. There's been a lot in the news this week about how a lot more people are renting when they weren't expecting to be. That might be because they're disappointed with the price they could achieve at the moment for their property. It might be because they're planning to return to the property. They might see it as a good investment, but they're certainly becoming an accidental landlord, and it's a bit of a minefield. There's certainly tax legislations you have to think about to do with how the rental income will be treated. Do speak to your tax advisor about that. There's also real legislative legal requirements such as gas safety checks, electrical checks and deposit protection, things like that. But there's another whole host of things that you might not have thought about if you're becoming the accidental landlord. So I've posted on the website this week a blog looking at this subject. It looks at things like flooring. You know, what will you go for? Hard flooring versus carpets, the investment of those. White goods, are they in good order? Will you be just constantly paying out for repairs if they're not in good order? Curtains, blinds, do you include them, do you not? So a whole host of other factors that you might not have considered, which certainly do need to be considered when you're letting your property. And it goes without saying, if anyone wants any help or advice with letting a property, at Maddisons here, we'd be absolutely delighted to help. We have a really large growing rental book, and yeah, it's an area that we're very happy to help in. Well, details of new properties that have gone to market this week. I have launched a great 3-bedroom flat on the front road. It's on at a guide price of £400,000. It's got superb, spacious accommodation, really, really generous, and more than you would get for many houses at this price point. And it's got a private garden and off-street parking. So that one's definitely well worth a look, presented in excellent order throughout. And then Sheaf House over in Hartfield, on at a guide of £725,000. It's a beautiful conversion of what was one of the village's famous pubs, and there's just 1 unit remaining now. It's been really well sympathetically done. It has a lovely large kitchen diner, lots of period features throughout, and a great little private garden with a oak frame garage and off-street parking. And finally, on Boyne Park, we've done a price reduction on that property. It's now at 1.5 million, a great price for the amount of accommodation space that you get. It's a new build property, and yeah, a real contemporary design on what is probably one of the most desirable roads to live on here in Tunbridge Wells. We hope you've enjoyed the vlog this week and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.